Hi there guys, it's Rick here and welcome to Rick's Guitar School. Hope you enjoyed that little improvisation at the start. We're going to be taking a look at my specific approach to soloing over that backing track in today's lesson. Firstly though, I just want to give you a heads up on a brand new section of my website called the Practice Room. I'm going to be producing some really cool backing tracks for you guys. I'm going to be improvising over them, then I'll explain in a little video lesson how I approach improvising over them. And that's what we're going to be doing today. Firstly though, if you haven't already, head on over to my website www.rick-graham.co.uk. There's a link in the description box below. You can subscribe to my website and you'll get notification of brand new HD guitar lesson content that will only be available to subscribers, as well as lots of other cool stuff as well. I always work hard on the material for that, and there's lots of cool stuff coming up. There's also an HD guitar lesson store of the website where you can download high quality purchasable lessons and lots of other cool stuff, so make sure you check it out. Link is in the description box below. Okay, let's get cracking with today's lesson. I just want to talk a bit about how I approached improvising over the backing track. But first, let me explain the chords in the backing track. It's a modal backing track. It's quite a common chord progression, and it's chords 4 and 5 in the key of B. Okay, so we have E and F sharp. For the F sharp chord, I'm just leaving the open B and E to ring. Gives a really nice chord voicing that. But those are chords 4 and 5 in the key of B, and this has a Lydian mode vibe to it. And it sounds really, really cool. As I said before, very common progression, been used lots of times. So the overall feel of this particular backing track lends itself to very, very melodic style of playing. That's what my ear is telling me anyway, and I like to listen to my ear as much as I can. So my specific approach is really based on trying to play the best quality phrases that I can. Of course, it's improvised, so it doesn't always go according to plan, but the idea is that you try and get as much information as you can together, as much knowledge as you can together, of course, as well as the technique before you improvise, and hopefully the choices available to you will really greatly enhance what you play. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about that. When I improvised over this particular backing track, I mean, it's the same with any backing track. I have to be sure that I have access to every chord tone of the chord that are happening in the background at that specific time. So E major, I need to be sure where the notes for E major are all over the fretboard. So wherever I am, I need access to those chord tones. It's the same with this chord. I need access to the chord tones for that. And what I do with that is I use it as a framework. I use the chord tones as a framework to create phrases with. Because I know those chord tones are going to be really strong sounding, I can add extra notes from the scale, in this case E Lydian, to colour the sound of the chord. So if I have, say we've got the chord of E, I can add extra notes in based around the framework of the chord itself. So if you notice what I played there, root 9th 3rd. Okay, you can hear the progression there. So that's what I tried to do with this this particular backing track. I suggest you practice the triads for both those 4 and 5 chords all over the fretboard. I've got a specific lesson on this that I did a few weeks back, so make sure you check it out. It's on my website, of course on my YouTube channel as well, on triads. That's going to be really, really useful if you haven't looked at that already. So that's what I use mainly when I'm improvising over this backing track. It's what I do anyway when I'm improvising, but it really, really lends itself well to this particular backing track. So it's important to do that. One of the reasons why is that if I constantly think just before I improvise about like say like Lydian mode as required for this backing track, it's a 7-note scale. There's lots of choice there. What this does is particularly allows me to zone in on a particular chord and get control of any phrases that I play, because I'm using the chord tones as a framework and, like I say, adding colour with extra notes of the scale. So it's really, really useful, and if you're not used to doing that, it might feel a little bit strange at first, but once you get into playing it more, it will become a lot easier, and hopefully you'll see the value in it. So what I suggest is that you become familiar with the triads in every position of the fingerboard. Lots of different ways that you can do that. I'm not going to go into this in this particular lesson. The other thing I like to do with this kind of thing is balance tasty phrases with some more technical stuff. Within the actual improvisation itself, I don't play a great deal of fast stuff. You know, there's a couple of times where I play some more some quicker lines, and I think they're greatly, the effect of them is heightened because I'm not constantly doing it. I don't want to hear that kind of thing over this all the time, because for me it kills the mood of the track. So for me, balance really is key in order to get a great sounding solo. So that's what I suggest you work on with this. That is my specific approach to it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's shed some light on my approach to improvising. And get practicing those triads. That's the main thing. Practice those chord tones. So hope you've enjoyed this. Look out for the next one, which is coming very soon, and get improvising. All right guys, take it easy. I'll speak to you soon.